Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about two very important items, food and fuel. Now, before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday, we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased-on owner-operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you've provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming, and let's talk about these two items, food and fuel. Now, it goes without saying, food is quite important for sustaining the body, and you can't really run a trucking company without fuel. Now, the reason we're making this video today is because, as it turns out, there's a major DEF shortage out in Australia. And you might be wondering, why is he talking about Australia when we're out here in the United States? How does this ultimately affect us? Well, it turns out it affects us quite a bit, so let's unpack it, and this will make a lot more sense. Now, those of you guys who have been running in the trucking industry for some time, you know that DEF has been around for a long time as well. In fact, since 2010, when it was introduced, it's been running ever since then. There's a lot of trucks requiring DEF fluid. And, it's something that a lot of folks don't like. Some folks don't mind it. And ultimately, we're going to be stuck with it. So, DEF actually keeps you compliant with EPA regulations. It also keeps you out of limp mode, allowing you to operate your truck. And ultimately, DEF is a very simple solution, which basically consists of two primary ingredients of urea and water. And as it turns out to be, and I didn't know this, that urea is actually a very important and major nitrogen source in fertilizers. And fertilizers are an absolute necessity in today's world of farming, because we would not be able to achieve the types of crop yields that we're able to achieve with fertilizers, which are required to ultimately feed the world. We just couldn't survive. And as it turns out to be, China is actually the main producer of urea. They're the #1 exporter of urea and actually fertilizers here to the United States, as well as Australia and many other countries out there. So they're quite important in that part of the supply chain. And currently, China is experiencing a shortage of urea. So they've actually stopped exporting to the United States and other countries because they've decided to keep their stockpiles of urea for their fertilizers. And we're already in a short supply of urea over this past 12 months, so the prices have already increased. They're quite inflated, and fertilizers that are already up in price are going to increase further in price as this shortage goes into effect over the next several months, which would also create a shortage of, besides fertilizers, which are desperately needed, but also DEF fluid or DEF fluid. And this would ultimately increase both food production costs as well as transportation costs of both food and any other commodity requiring a truck to transport it. And this would lead to, of course, higher food pricing without the fertilizers and additional costs to transport the food. So ultimately, if you eat food, this is going to affect you. And if you grow your own food, you might want to stock up on some fertilizer. If you are a truck driver, and most of you guys are, then definitely stock up on some DEF fluid. At the end of the day, it won't hurt none, considering that you're going to just cost average down. Everything's going up in price anyway. You're going to still use that DEF fluid whether there is a shortage or not. And if there is a shortage, you're going to be covered, unlike your neighbor to the side who won't be able to operate his truck because he will be stuck in limp mode and won't be able to get very far or very fast. Now, obviously, this is going to affect the trucking industry because this might actually make for an additional capacity crunch with less trucks being available to run freight, which should essentially raise prices. So make sure you have that DEF fluid. And guys, please leave your comment section, your comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't liked the video, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to switch over the camera. We're going to look over loads we booked for our customers, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, guys. Let's take a look at some of these loads, some really, truly fantastic rates. But remember, you got to have DEF fluid if you want to make this kind of money. I'm going to start off with a reefer coming out of Elkton, Virginia, going to Hamilton, New Jersey. It's a 45,000 pound load of beer. This is a dry load, no reefer necessary. 287 miles, booked at $2,000. Got him $697 a mile. Then Wilmington, Delaware to Tully, New York. 32,000 pound load of produce at 34 degrees on a reefer. 254 miles, booked at $2,200. Got him $866 a mile. Then Macedon, New York to Willard, Ohio. It's a 36,000 pound load of snacks at 34 degrees on a reefer. 346 miles, booked at $2,400. Got him $694 a mile. Then Minster, Ohio to Mechanicsville, Virginia. It's a 37,000 pound pound load of food and beverages at 34 degrees on a reefer. 565 miles booked at $3,800, got him $673 a mile. Then Richmond, Virginia to Vanori, Tennessee, it's a 38,000 pound load of health and personal care products at 70 degrees on a reefer, got him $471 on the miles booked at $2,200, which is $467 per mile. They finished off with Austell, Georgia, going to Loxley, Alabama. It's a 17,000 pound load of miscellaneous goods, basically a freight of all kinds or FAK load. 55 degrees on a reefer, 319 miles booked at $1,600, got him $502 per mile. Did a wonderful, wonderful job running for 1 week, Monday to Monday. 1 week on the road, grossed $14,200 in gross, ran 2,242 miles loaded at an average of 633 per loaded mile average. Absolutely really great gross, really great average per mile. Very, very well done, especially with that beer load starting off the week with a dry load. Very well done. Next, we got ourselves a dry van team. These guys absolutely obliterated it. Coming out of Norfolk, Virginia, going to Aurora, Illinois. It's a light load, 20,000 pounds of U.S. mail, 923 miles booked at $2,750, got them $298 a mile. Then out of Chicago, going to Olive Branch, Mississippi. Very light load at 5,000 pounds of empty cans, 557 miles booked at $2,600, got them $467 a mile. Then they were supposed to have a load out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, going to La Crosse, Virginia, Wisconsin, but ended up being a Tonu truck order not used. We collected $200 on that one. And then what they did is something interesting. They did 4 runs, back-to-back round trips, coming out of South Haven, Mississippi, and Indianapolis, Indiana, going to Greenwood, Indiana, and South Haven, Mississippi. So basically back and forth, back and forth. They did this 4 times. That's 976 miles. That's $297 per mile at $2,900 booked. Did it 4 times. Absolutely killed it with a total gross for the week of $17,150 in gross, running 5,384 loaded miles at an average of $319 per loaded mile. Very, very well done. Congrats, guys. Next, we got ourselves a reefer coming out of Osceola, Iowa, with a 1-pick 2-dropper in Riverside, California, and Livermore, California. This was a 42,229 pound load of chilled meats. It was originally booked at $6,000. Got another $250 on a layover at the shipper. It's a 28-degree continuous load. 2,024 miles booked at $6,250. Got them $309 a mile. Then Fairfield, California, going to Great Falls, Montana. It's a 44,000 pound load of beer. Basically a Bush product transfer. Was a dry load, no reefer necessary. 1,142 miles booked at $6,000. That's $525 per mile. These guys ran these 2 loads, ended up grossing $12,250 in gross, ran 3,166 loaded miles at $387 per loaded mile average, running Friday to Friday. Very, very well done. Next, we got a vented van coming out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, with 2 drops in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a 42,000 pound load of paper, 479 miles booked at $3,100, got him $647 a mile. Then right out of Pittsburgh, going to Joliet, Illinois. It's a 44,000 pound load of retail goods, 535 miles booked at $1,400, got him $262 a mile. And then Romeoville, Illinois to Kansas City, Missouri. Very limited deadhead, 25,000 pound load of feminine care products. 481 miles booked at $2,300, got him $478 a mile. Then Edwardsville, Kansas, going to Slinger, Wisconsin. 33,000 pound load of rims and tires. That's 562 miles booked at $1,500, got him $267 a mile. Then Oshkosh, Wisconsin to Elwood, Indiana, 41,000 pound load of freight of all kinds, 362 miles booked at $1,700, got him $470 per mile. Did very, very well, grossing exactly $10,000 on the dot, averaged of $413 per loaded mile on their 2,419 loaded miles. Very well done. Next, we have a regular dry van coming out of Billings, Montana to North Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a 44,000 pound load of bagged minerals. $3,000 booked at 968 miles, got him $310 a mile. Then North Las Vegas, Nevada, 0 deadhead going to Kennewick, Washington. It's a 34,000 pound load of HVAC unit parts. 906 miles booked at $4,000, got him $442 a mile. And it finished off with Walla Walla, Washington to North Salt Lake here in Utah. It's a 36,000 pound load of dry food. It's a palletized load. 583 miles booked at $3,100, got him $532 a mile. These guys ran Friday to Friday. did get their 34-hour reset included, grossed $10,100 in gross, ran 2,452 loaded miles at an average of 411 per loaded mile average. Plus, they only had 48 miles of deadhead, which dropped them to 403 a mile. Very, very well done. And this is a back-to-back 13K week for this driver. This time they did have to take their 34-hour reset. And as it turns out, as we can see, mountain areas are good for making money nowadays, especially now that the snow is coming down. If you're not afraid, you're going to make quite a bit of money out there, guys. Very, very well done. Next, we got ourselves a reefer coming out of Chamberino, New Mexico, going to Hurlock, Maryland. It's a long run, 35,000 pound load of food products, running at 47 to 50 degrees on a reefer, 2,079 miles booked at $7,000, got him $337 a mile on a ton of miles. Then Millsboro, Delaware, with a 1-pick 2-dropper to Morristown, Tennessee and Lebanon, Tennessee, got him a 36,000 pound load of chicken, 764 miles booked at $2,600, got him $340 a mile. Then at Cumberland City, Tennessee, going to Waco, Texas, a light load, 5,000 pounds of packaging materials. This is a dry load, reefer stayed off, 736 miles booked at $2,200, got them $299 a mile. And all in all, these guys ran Friday to Thursday, so a short week for them. Still grossed $11,800 in gross, ran 3,579 loaded miles at an average of $330 per loaded mile average. There was one more set of loads that I forgot to add, so I'll add them now. It was a dry van coming out of Great Falls, Montana, going to Salt Lake City, Utah, 44,000 pound load of dried pasta. Booked at $2,000 for 571 miles, got them $350 a mile. And then West Valley City, Utah, it's right there, not much deadhead at all, going to Belgrade, Montana, 35,000 pound load of paper insulation, 417 miles booked at $2,500, got them $6 a mile on that one. And it finished off with Dillon, Montana to LaPorte, Texas. That's a 44,000 pound load of resin. 1,776 miles. I like that number. $5,800, got them $327 per mile. These guys also did quite well. They ended up running for actually only 6 days, but they grossed $10,300. Ran 2,764 loaded miles and got those at $373 a mile. And again, over 10 grand in 6 days. Quite well on a regular dry van. So as you can see, guys, great money. These teams have killed it. Vans, vented vans, reefers, what have you. We're definitely in a very good freight market, and our guys know what they're doing. They know the lanes, they know how to average you out, they know how to triangulate you, they know the commodities, and they know how to talk to these brokers. So guys, if you're looking for a strong dispatch team, you've got a friend in us. If you're looking for a lease-on operation that's going to be transparent, take care of you guys, and be completely honest, like I said, you have a friend in us. So get in touch with us by calling or texting at 801-448-6363, or go to our website at aftdispatch.com/go. Also, on any one of our web pages, you can actually fill in our chat box that's going to scroll at the bottom of the screen here, and just put in your information there. We'll be sure to get back to you, provide you any and all information, answer any and all questions that you may have, and get you going as soon as possible. So again, 801-448-6363, or go to our website at aftdispatch.com. Most importantly, guys, until next week, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.